perfection. Oh, thank you for recording, babe. Let me start again for those who are going to listen in later. Consistency builds confidence by taking small action in a day that lead to accomplishing goals and wins, okay? Focus on progress, not perfection. So when I talk about progress builds momentum. You have to release the pressure to be perfect, and small, or at the end, small wins equals motivation. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little more deeper into that. So when we talk about focus on progress, not perfection. So progress builds momentum, okay? What does that mean? Every day when you get up and you do something that is towards your goal, which is a small action, believe me, it starts off with drinking your water, making sure that you go for your walk, even writing in your journal, if that's something that you do, little things. All that it matters is that you're consistent with it. And that'll build momentum. Why? Because it starts to build confidence in yourself. This is all that this is all about. Because if you had the confidence to be able to drop the weight, to build the muscle, you would have already done it. The thing is we find a lot of hiccups in our day because we're taught to look for the negative. We're taught to think negative about ourselves, about the way that we do things, instead of thinking about how can I think about myself in a positive manner that is going to influence me, to motivate me, to empower me, to keep moving forward. Instead, we're quick to judge ourselves and quick to cap ourselves and say, oh, I can't do that. Look at me, I'm already messing up. So if we take note of our progress, I mean, write it in the chat. That's why we have the chat. It does not matter if it sounds like the biggest thing for me, I believe for my wife too, is being able to celebrate ourselves. Writing it in the chat and saying, guess what, guys? Today I had my second shake. Guess what, guys? Today I went for my walk. Guess what, guys? Today I drank my water. Like these chats are meant to celebrate you. Okay? So know that it's okay to celebrate yourself in the small little things. And if you're anything like me, you're the biggest critic of yourself. Like, oh, well, duh, I'm supposed to drink the water. Oh, well, duh, I'm supposed to go work out. Oh, well, duh, I'm supposed to have my second shake. No, well, duh. You got to learn to understand that you're living and you're creating a different lifestyle that majority of people will not create for themselves because of that little thing of thinking that it's too much to celebrate themselves. It's not, okay? We want to celebrate you into consistency. How about that? Release the pressure of perfection. Please, 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 please. Do not step into this next week thinking that it wasn't perfect last week. I quit this week. I'll just start over. No, we begin each day, each moment, each hour with the opportunity to do better than we did the minute before. We begin each morning with the opportunity to do better than we did before. It's not, this 21-day challenge, all it is about creating a support system for you to be able to successfully succeed at whatever goal you have your mind wrapped around. And we understand that consistency is something that is not typical in this world. It's not typical to be consistent or to recognize consistency. Like Ava said, we are consistent at a lot of things: brushing our teeth, taking a shower, eating at least one meal a day. Right? We're consistent at little things, but we're also consistent at the negative things. Putting ourselves down, nagging at ourselves, not thinking that we're not good enough. How many times a day do we think about how bad we are at something instead of applauding ourselves? It's important to catch those thoughts and say, not today. Today I am powerful. Today I am good. Today I am great. Today I will make mistakes, but you know what? Today I will pick myself up and I'm going to do it again. As silly as that sounds, the conversation will lead you a long way. I promise you. 12 years of doing this, and it still gets me sometimes. I have to catch my thoughts in order to be able to keep growing. So small wins will create motivation for you. So if we sat there all day and we criticized ourselves, what do you think that's going to do to us? It's going to break us down. It's going to make us not want to move forward. So when we recognize our small wins, like I was talking earlier, the water, going for a walk, even looking at yourself in the morning, even spending time with yourself just to be able to catch your breath in the morning, right? That's where I started. I started waking up earlier than everybody because I understood that as soon as everybody woke up, my day was theirs. Getting everybody ready, getting everything ready, making sure that everybody's sent off and okay, making sure that their day is set and ready, making sure that I met whatever I said I was going to do for them. But when I woke up early, it started with 30 minutes a day, waking up early. Just waking up at my own pace was something that I became consistent at, that developed into a healthy habit. So next up, we're going to, focus on progress, okay, not perfection. Next up is forming habits. So how do you form habits? Okay, systems in your life. Set yourself up for a successful autopilot. When emotions hit, you have a system set in place. Takes about a year for it to become natural. So systems are so important. Habits are so important. Takes about a year for it to actually lock in and for you to make it a natural thing, right? The way that you talk about yourself, the way that you talk. So this is something, okay? So just like, let's say someone hits your funny bone, what happens? Anybody? If anybody hits your funny bone, what happens?
It hurts.
It hurts, right? It creates like a tickle. How about your kneecap or below your kneecap?
It's like a reflex, it jerks.
Makes your leg move.
Yes, right? So just like that, you have thoughts that create automatic triggers that lead to automatic habits. In 2020, my wife and I realized that we had created a strong mindset because as soon as everybody was shut down and as soon as everybody was not able to leave their houses for whatever crazy idea they had about not us being able to leave, my wife and I went into a space where it's like, how are we going to help people? How are we going to help them get out of their minds and be able to feel comfortable in the situation that we're in? But if we had not been working on our minds years prior to that, we would have been one of the people that would have shut down, not known what to do, probably anxious and full of anxiety, which we were. We were afraid. We were anxious. We didn't know what was going on, but we understood that we had control of one thing, and that was our mind. That was it. That's all I could do. I could control the way that I thought about this situation, and I could control the perspective. So the same thing comes down to your journey in health. You don't have control of what other people will say, of what other people will react. When people invite you places, I'm sober 5 years. People invite me places, not intentionally to try to tempt me, but they invite me because they want to hang out with me. And that's their environment that they like to be in. Now, I have two choices. I can get offended and I could say no. Sometimes I do because I just don't want to go. Or I could really say yes and see how I can build this relationship, right? And third one is I could create a different time and environment that we can both, be happy in. But it's all about perspective. And if we walk into this next week thinking that we've already lost or the challenge is over, or maybe you're the total opposite and you're like, baby, I got this in the bag. I've been on point. Great. For sometimes with those mindsets, we start to take our foot off the pedal and then we get comfortable. How many of us that have been in the challenge, and be honest with me, even in the beginning, you were in the challenge and then that week gap came for the next challenge and then you just spiraled out of control. You ate everything, you drank everything because the next challenge was about to start in a week and you're in a hurry because you got to eat what you got to eat and you got to have the fun that you got to have, right? It's that this is one thing that we have to get clear with ourselves is we're creating habits. We're creating habits that are going to sustain our lifestyle, habits that are going to create that healthier part of us, that because our goal is to help you feel good, look a way that you like to look, okay, and possibly become part of the team so we can have these conversations all the time on the site when we're just hanging out. So knowing that your habits are going to be an automatic thing, it's important to understand the habits that you have now. What are some of the habits that hold you back from reaching your goals? And I'm not going to say to focus on those or try to fix them because you can't fix a bad habit. You just can't. A bad habit is a bad habit, period. But what you can do is replace it with a good habit, a healthy habit, okay? A healthy habit that is going to produce the outcome that you're looking for, meaning the goal that you want in the end for your health result. So if I said, what is your goal? And you said losing weight. And I said, okay, what does your morning look like? And you said, I don't have a morning routine. All I do is wake up and go to work. Okay, great. Now, how is that going to help you reach your goal? And you say, well, I don't know. Okay, so then this is where my wife and I would come in and say, let's create a healthy habit that you could sustain. What's the earliest time that you think you could wake up before your work so that you could have your shake? That's one healthy habit. Having your shake or eating something nutritional first thing in the morning, having a glass of water, that simple thing is going to create a life-changing experience for you. Why? Because you're getting hydrated. You're now feeding your body nutrition. You're giving your body fuel that is going to help you feel energized at least for the first 4 hours that you're up. You're not angry. You're not groggy. Opportunities look clearer. Conversations are brighter. Your family is impressed because now you have a better attitude. Like this creates a ripple effect for you and your family. Taking care of yourself first thing in the morning and in the evening, right? Ava says she's gonna go to bed early. She's gonna create a healthier habit. She's getting more rest and she's creating a way to have self-control so she doesn't overeat at night. Like that simple thing, right? It doesn't, like before she even said it, she said it doesn't sound like a win. It's a freaking win. Because it's the compound effect that's going to create the impact in her life. Compound effect meaning when something is done over and over and over and over consistently, it creates a change. It creates a ripple effect in your life. So her not eating late at night, getting more rest, do you believe that will actually help her in her life? Give me a thumbs up if you believe that's going to help her out. Right? Simple. A simple thing, but we think we have to do the biggest things ever. Simple changes, right? That are going to create an autopilot. So like I said, it creates a year. So now when you're under stress or you're feeling anxious, or sometimes my wife and I used to have a habit where we would get so excited. We're like, what are we going to do? We're going to go out to eat, right? Pizza for you, pizza for me. I'm not lying. A whole freaking large pizza, one for her, one for me. That's not a good habit. Okay? That's not a good habit. So now what we do when we wanna celebrate, we spend time with each other. We talk. We applaud each other. Like literally. Can I get a woo-hoo? You know, it's just those little things that we just woo-hoo each other. We celebrate each other. Yes. It's it's just the overness of joy of watching somebody win that creates it's an okay for me to win. I'm going to do this more because I like that feeling. Yes, Desi. And so your emotions, right, play a big part in it, whether you know it or not. Your emotions have a way of guiding you into certain things in life. They become triggers. So either you get a hold of your emotions by knowing what emotion you're feeling and then tying it to a natural habit, meaning a trigger. That way you can now, when that emotion comes up, your brain goes, oh, you know what? We start journaling when we feel sad. Oh, you know what? We go for walks when we're feeling sad. Oh, you know what? When we're excited, we call our best friend and we let them know what's happening instead of going and celebrating. I used to celebrate with donuts. Like, guys, I wasn't always this girl. Okay. I used to celebrate with donuts. I used to celebrate with pan dulces, just everything. Reminiscing. And so, so now then it becomes natural. It becomes a natural thing for your body to do. It becomes natural to want to go for, oh, one of the biggest things that I recommend is when you're craving sweets, go for fruit. I do not care what people say, fruit has too much sugar. I'm like, baby, no. I'm like, I'm not going to go on stage. Okay, I don't need to worry about that. All right, now I'm just learning how to have self-control when it comes to eating healthier habits. Thank you, Taylor. Yeah, so just make sure you know that your body's just craving sugar, no matter what. But if you substitute it for fruit, now your body will lower. I'm not a doctor, but from what I understand is it lowers the sugar because no matter what, I believe that fruit has less sugar than what you would find in a cookie or processed sugar, and it's better for you. So now my body can taste fake sugar, and I don't like it. I don't like it. If I'm gonna go get something to if I'm gonna go get a cake or if I'm gonna go get a donut, I'm gonna go somewhere where they actually make them there, and I know the ingredients that are in them. It just does something different to your brain. It's like you're more aware of what you put into your body. You're more aware and you have a little bit more self-control. So next up, guys, that was system. So making sure that you have a system in place for your success. Habits that you can form. And I'm going to drop some habits that we can form together during these holidays. So I need you to take note of what are your habits. You got to set yourself up for success. Start creating those autopilots. Start taking responsibility for the way you respond when you have an emotional reaction. And remember, you got to have patience for yourself because it takes about a year for things to become natural. This one. I love this one, okay? Affirmations. Master your inner dialogue. How do you speak to yourself? What are some affirmations that you speak to yourself? And how do you take action? So this is probably one of the ones that take a while, okay, because it goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So the way that I started working on myself, I can remember the first time that I actually took it serious is I was, probably 2013. I was sitting in my mom's kitchen and she had like those little circle mirrors that she had. And I was up early and I was reading my Bible. And I remember looking at the Bible and then looking at the mirror and I saw a reflection of myself. And I looked at myself and I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everything I've ever put you through. I'm so sorry for all the situations I allowed you to be in that were dangerous and harmful. And I love you. I remember that at that point, when I would go running, I remember the first time I heard myself encourage myself while I was running. I remember the first time I heard my inner dialogue tell myself, I love you. I remember because it wasn't something that was natural or consistent for me in my life. But we have the power to do that. We can change the inner dialogue, and just like a habit, it's going to take a while. And this takes time. What we do here in this 21-day challenge is, first of all, we see if it's something for you. Because not everybody comes in and it's for them, right? In the first 21 days, we see if our coaching and how we guide you and what we do is for you. And if it's working, and what can we do better? The second 21-day challenge, guys, it's all about implementing what you learn in the third one is where you take off. It's freaking wild to watch people take off. So watching your inner dialogue is so important. So let me ask you this. When you hit a point in your career, in your challenge, and you're having a rough day, the way that you talk to yourself, you're the only one who knows, okay? Would you ever speak to someone that you love in that manner? Would you ever talk to your child that way? Well, why would you talk to yourself in that way? We got to take responsibility for the way that we speak to ourselves. Because if we don't, we're only setting ourselves up for failure. And that's not what we're here for. I know you're not showing up to set yourself up for failure. You're here showing up because you see something in yourself. You see the possibility in yourself. You know you're more than your current circumstances. You know that you're worth the fight. But then that inner dialogue starts. And we start to justify it. How? By our habits. We start overeating. We start sitting and binge watching shows. We start doing habits, drinking. We start going out with people that we know are not good for us. We start oversleeping. And sometimes we need rest, especially in tough situations. But then we don't do the things that make us feel good. We let things slide when people say things. You know, they're little things. So knowing when you are talking bad about yourself, catch yourself, and sometimes it's hard to stop, but understanding that you have the right to say to yourself, this is not who I am. Who I am is da 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 da. We'll go over that in a little bit. So you have to envision where you're going. You have to envision where you're going. And I'm not talking about, for me, it was just wanting to feel better. But for some of us, because I know some, because we coach some of you, is losing weight, right? So yes, you're going to get a body that comes with losing that weight, or you're going to get a body that comes with gaining that muscle or that energy. You're going to get it no matter what. But envisioning, how is it going to feel when you get there? That's what we're all going after. We're all going after the feeling that comes with the results. Let me share with you. So losing 40 pounds was not a goal of mine, but feeling better was a goal of mine. So I understood that there are some things that I needed to give up in order to feel better. Alcohol was one of them. The people I was hanging out with was another. Smoking cigarettes. I used to smoke a lot. Smoking cigarettes was one of them. I understood that these were things that I was going to have to give up in order to feel better. Did I do it all at once? No, no way. There's no way I did that. But because I had that feeling, I knew that I just wanted to feel better. I knew that my body deserved to stop aching. I knew that the eczema was something being caused by what I was drinking and my stress. I knew that my overthinking was because of my lack of responsibility. There were little habits that I needed to take. So when I say envision yourself, yes, the way that you're going to look, but what kind of feeling does that bring? Does it bring happiness? And why are you happy? Are you more organized? Are you more structured? Do you see yourself waking up earlier? Do you see yourself drinking more water? Like those are the things that are going to help you stay focused. Because if we think about because we look at ourselves every day in the mirror. And if we sat there and we stared at ourselves in the mirror all day long, that's torturous. Because your body's not going to change from one moment to the next. It's going to take time. But what we can embody is the feeling. We can feel happy before we hit the goal. We can feel strong and courageous before we hit the goal. We can feel successful before we reach the success. And when we have these emotions happening, we have more energy, we have more opportunity, and we have better relationships with people. Because now we're not judging people. I'm not saying we're judging people, but we're like, this person right now just doesn't align with what I want. Just for right now, I'm not going to, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that right now I need to focus. And then I don't know, for some reason, people start coming into your life that are wanting what you want at the moment. It's really, I love how it works. I don't know how it works, but it just works. I do know how it works, but it's too much to go into right now. And then kindness. Y'all, kindness, 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 kindness. Kindness to yourself, kindness to others. So we're reading a book that's called The Laws of Success. Big old book. It's like this big, right? But I recommend it if you're a reader, The Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill. It blows your mind. Okay, Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill. He talks about the law of retaliation. So we think about retaliation and we think about something negative, right? Well, when you retaliate in a kind way, who's ever heard of kill them with kindness? When you retaliate in a kind way, no matter how someone is towards you, no matter how negative they are over and over and over, what happens is at some point, whether around people or you and them, there is no choice but to retaliate back at you with kindness. And it goes the same for in here. If you speak kindness to yourself, and that's all you're pouring into yourself, books, putting affirmations on a mirror, writing 3 things that you would like for yourself. I'd like to feel joy. I am joy. What are 3 things that you want to feel for yourself? So let's do that right now, okay? I want you to take a moment. You can text it to your spouse. You can write it on a piece of paper. You can text it to a friend. Take a moment and write down 3 things that you would like to feel. Okay? Write them down. I'm going to write them in here for you guys. I would like to feel more courage. Okay, so mine is courage, influence, and power. Okay, so on a piece of paper, what I would like you to do is write it and put it on your mirror and read it. I am courageous, I am influential, and I am powerful. Whatever your 3 words are, we're not going to focus on what it looks like. We're not going to focus on what it's going to take. Don't worry about the how. Just write these 3 things down on a piece of paper. Who's down to do that? You, Monica, Ava. Look at Ava. And you got to put it on your mirror, okay? You got to put it on your mirror so you can read it every morning to yourself. These are things that you're going to create when it comes inside part of feelings. It's a feeling, it's a mindset. When you look at a mindset, it's not things, it's not objects. You're tying a feeling into an object, into a body type. It's about what you feel inside that's going to create what it is that you want for your life. Now, if you can imagine, yes, okay, your body will be strong, will be sexy, will be beautiful, whatever that is. But what if that was influential more towards everything around you? Creating bigger and better things for you, not just your body, right? You don't have to tie it to your body. It could be a life filled with courage and power and influence. Okay, that's me. But so here, and now I'm going to share with you guys some products. This was next. Thank you guys for and then we just did the envisioning, okay? So here are 3 habits that you can take a screenshot of this. So let's say you fall off, okay? Let's say you totally fall off and you're like, shoot, what the heck do I do now? Focus on these 3 things right here. They're the most simplest things that you can do for yourself. Hydrate, choose one healthy habit, and be mindful of what you're eating. And one of the biggest things that I could say is being mindful is put an alarm for the times that you're going to eat and say, be mindful. Be mindful. And now you have a reminder to remind you to be aware of what you're putting into your body. Because the holidays are coming, guys. I'm telling you. You feel strong. But they're coming. Okay? Everything's coming. And what my goal is to watch you guys just make it through these next 3 months. And fly into 2025 like no other, like no one around you. And it'd be even better if you brought everybody around you with you. So here are some products that I recommend for the mind, okay? First of all, we have our cell activator and multivitamins, which are nutrition. So when your body feels great, you feel great. Cell activator helps you absorb the nutrition that you're taking in, okay? Multivitamins, everybody needs a multivitamin, but our multivitamin is so soluble that it breaks down. So a lot of multivitamins have a capsule that wraps it up, but the capsule never melts inside. It actually stays intact. So you actually don't absorb anything because it never breaks down. It's important to know that what you take in is actually being broken down so that your body can absorb it. Then we have, ladies, Tang Quai and Women's Choice. Tang Quai is helpful for PMS, and it's kind of like a muscle relaxer, but it helps ease the pain. And ladies, when we're at more ease, we can make better choices. But men can also take this too, because sometimes you are so stressed out that you need something to help you relax a little bit. Women's Choice. Okay, ladies, this helps with women who are menopausal, but this also helps women who are emotional. Sleep now, relax now, because resting is important. Sleep now helps you hit all realms of sleep, which is very, very important. So let's say you only get 4 hours of sleep. With Sleep Now, you'll be able to hit all realms of sleep, meaning you'll get a full rest. Relax Now, you can take that throughout the day. No, it's not going to knock you out. It helps you relax, because when you're relaxed and not stressed, you make better choices. Snack Defense helps out with sugar levels, which gives you that gap, so you're able not to just go for something, but you have that gap to think about what you want to eat and then make a better decision. CR7, guys, has electrolytes. So electrolytes help carry messages from your brain to the rest of your body. It helps you stay sharp. And Dennis knows this. You think clearer, you stay more focused, so you even work better. Dennis has been killing it in the gym because of the CR7. Call Dennis. So you could even feel less tired with electrolytes. Now the lift off, guys, gives you energy as well as vitamin B. So vitamin B is also great for the mind and mental focus. So these lift offs are really great for energy. NRGT has guarana, which is a light caffeine, but also helps with mental focus. Your Herbal Lifeline at the bottom will help with a fish oil, which your brain needs healthy fats. This is probably one of the purest and best fish oils. It's a salmon oil. And then your Memory Armor. Memory Armor helps with your short term, so that you remember things that you just, like, there are things that we don't remember, things that we see that we just don't remember, that our brain doesn't really recall quickly. This will help with that. So guys, that was it for me, but I do have some things to invite you to. So if you're in Las Cruces, make sure that you are joining the Shape Up in Las Cruces. Desi, I think there's one in Vegas. And then for, huh?
I didn't know.
There might be. I'll have to check. I think I've seen one.
Awesome.
And then for Hawaii, who's going to the Hawaii Shape Up? Woo-hoo. Dennis, raise your hand, Dennis.
Hey, Alba,
Yes.
could you text me the previous slide when you did
Oh,
the
yeah.
nutrition for the mind?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. I can't get my picture to take it, so
I'll do that right after this.
thank you so much.
Yeah. And then, of course, this is the information for the Shape Ups wherever you're at. If you need to take a screenshot of that. And then your 21-day transformation challenge, November challenge is open. So if you are ready and set, let's get you enrolled and ready to go. Because once you're enrolled in something, your mind just always invests itself into what you're enrolled in. And as you know, the challenge in November is still the same. You have the opportunity to win $10,000, $1,000. And then if you're not yet a VIP member, I highly recommend it, because you can get up to a 40% discount. And you also get the benefit of getting some awesome prizes by just being consistent with your products. So next step, guys, would be either to enroll yourself into the challenge, become part of the team, or be an ambassador. Meaning, you're inviting people to these calls. You're inviting people to your local workouts, to your local nutrition clubs, to whatever it is that you do, to your local fit camps, just to transform that goal of 1 million lives, okay? So next call is the final call. It's gonna be a celebration, guys. We're rolling into the last week of this challenge. Let's give it our all. Let's do our best, and know that we are very, 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 very proud of you. Does anybody have any questions before we take off? Did you guys find that helpful? A little bit mindset-wise? Okay, awesome. Well, I love you guys. I'm proud of you. Let's kill this next week. Remember to put your wins in the chat and let's freaking go. Last
And
week, baby.
before we go, Latoya, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Alba. Latoya, the next time we talk, ask me about the conversation I had with Austin, as in Cody, which I believe is that Michael Katz's daughter. And Austin. He asked me who my upline was, and I told him you. And he asked me how we met and asked me how you got me on the program. Super interesting discussion. So I just wanted to share that with you when we talk next. Okay.
Awesome.
Love you.
Okay, thank you. Love you.
Love you. Thank you
Bye,
so much, Alba.
guys. Stay
Job, Alba.
strong.
Proud of you
Bye.
guys for
Oh,
getting
let's take
on.
a picture. Wait. We need to take a picture. Babe, can you take a picture?
Oh,
Yes.
wait, what's my good side? Is this my good side?
For all
Put
your
your
good
camera
stuff.
on, everybody.
Everybody, let me see your face really quick.
Uh,
1, 2. You can turn on your camera. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Looking good, guys. Love you.
Love you.
Love you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Love you all. Bye-bye.